Welcome to a long-awaited evening of Two's Company 3's a podcast, also known as 2C3 Pod. My name is Dylan, and as always with my co-host
Mitchell, and you better get your skates on because we're wondering what is your favourite action movie of all time?
Let us know down below. Let's go. Yeah, back into it. It's been a while. How are you, man?
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I'm also here.
Exactly. No, it's good. No, it's been a
hot minute.
Exactly. Unplanned absences. We had a sickness and then some, life got in the way kind of thing.
Yeah,
so
life got in the way.
It is what it is, until this becomes a full-time career for us. I mean, if we take a week off, get off our backs.
That's right.
We have lives.
Everybody who commented.
Yes.
All nunnies.
Oh, no. See, that's the thing. I got a couple of private messages, to me.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, put it on the socials. Make it seem like you care. Yeah, exactly.
I got a few messages, but we have one person who messages us on our Facebook account, Jimmy.
Of course.
Who's
Jim.
asking,
Yes.
Jim, who's like asking, when's the show, whatever else. So if he's here, hello, Jim.
I'm sure he will be, yes.
And if you listen to this later on, hello, Jim. Thanks for your
Yes.
continued support.
Of course he
Siege
will
City is in the house with a question in the moment, but we'll get to all that in just a moment. But first of all, we are 2C3 Pod. We are sometimes a weekly film and TV and gaming podcast hosted by yours truly, as well as this purple jumpered man.
Yes, purple, one-eyed,
one-horned flying purple people eater.
That's exactly right, except I have two eyes, but I still have one horn. Anyway,
Yeah, absolutely.
yes.
Yes.
No, so, of course, rip it into the podcast essentially, and our little bit of homework that we do every week. Of course,
Yeah.
make sure to check out the social medias at 2C3Pod everywhere, and make sure you're listening on your preferred platform if you're watching us live on twitch.tv/2C3Pod
Live.
Exactly. Make sure to head on over there for weekly live podcasting, but listen to the podcast as well. 2C3Pod, you will find us everywhere. Google us, we're legit.
That's right. On your favourite every
Favorite Papa Dum.
I reckon if I was to go back and listen to every single episode where I've attempted that, I fuck it up 99% of the time.
Yes.
Favorite podcast platforms: Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and of course YouTube. Big Summer Blowout. Check us out.
Speak of the devil. There's
Speaking of the
Jimmy
devil.
in chat there.
Jimmy.
How you doing? Saying that I look like Gromit.
Looking like
Grimace.
I was
You
going to say
mean Grimace from McDonald's? Right?
You look like a
he
small
corrected
dog.
himself. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I look like Gromit from Wallace and Gromit. Yes. Yes, and Mitch's mummy. Good to see you back. Good to hear you back too.
Yes, of course. And Siege City.
All right.
Yes.
So, question of the week, of course, was what is your favourite action film of all time?
Yes. Now we already know that you're not a huge action movie buff, but I thought about this for a little while, thinking,
I'm going to have a big nap while you just take this one.
do I like action movies or do I like science fiction movies that make sense, that have action in them? And you know what? Man, I'm a little more to the side
I
of
was
like
going to say,
science
you're
fiction.
the sci-fi side of that, 100%. No,
Yeah.
like a lot of your favourite ones are like Alien, even Predator. Total Recall. You're a fan of Total Recall?
Fucking love Total Recall.
But those ones, I mean, yes, Predator is an action film, but I mean, without the element of sci-fi, there's no movie.
That's right.
So
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So no, I definitely think you lean more towards the sci-fi with action thrown in, but straight up action films. What do you got?
Well, I mean, let's read a few of these first and then we'll get into it. And the reason that I want to talk about action movies this week is simply because it seems like all of the new stuff we've been getting in cinemas and at home have primarily been action movies.
Yeah.
We've had the release of, I was about to say Joss Whedon's. Wow, he's been on the fucking forefront of news again. Not that I'm fucking going into any of that bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know any of that, so either bring me in or leave me alone.
Don't even worry. Just more allegations about him being such a cunt.
No, what?
my
That
God,
guy?
yeah.
Oh my god, shocking.
But Zack Snyder's Justice League, yes, MCU absolutely counts as action films, but we've had Zack Snyder's Justice League and most notably the recent Godzilla vs. Kong, which I will review later on in the episode because we're doing movie reviews again this episode.
Exactly. We're just going to rip into a few things this week, see how the chat goes, but also we've got some news that we want to hit on as well. We've got a trailer park coming for you live tonight,
That's
which
right.
is
Yeah,
exciting.
absolutely.
Yes.
But Siege City says in chat, the first time I watched Expendables 2, I hated it. Second time, hated it. But third time, it was okay. 4 times... Wait, how did you like it?
And then times 4 through 10, I hated it.
Right.
Okay, all right. I've got several questions there, okay? So, all right, so we're asking what your favorite action film is, and you've brought in Expendables
The first
2.
one.
Out of all your options of like action films, you brought in Expendables 2, not 1, not 3. You brought in Expendables 2, and then you mentioned that you hated it. Then you watched it again, and it was okay. Then you hated it, and then you hated it for the next 6 times. what did you like? That's what we want to know. That's what we want to know. All right. Yeah. Did you want to get into one of yours and just like, of course, I'm sure people have heard of it. Did you want
to? What I think about of like action movies, and I've defended this movie quite a lot, I'm going to say Transformers 1. Because those movies are dumb as fuck, but they're just straight up action. And the reason I'm onto this topic is hot in here, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Where's that aircon you bragged about weeks ago?
Taylor, if you're listening, can you please do us a solid and turn the air conditioner on before we melt? But yeah, I'm going to defend Transformers 1 and 2 and most of 3.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I will defend those movies because they are blockbuster action fun.
Yeah.
And I've listened to a lot of podcasts and YouTube videos recently from certain actors in those films. One of them most notably TJ Miller. Who had a small role in Transformers 5, Age of Extinction, I think it was, like one of the worst ones.
Yeah.
And he said one day he had like a coffee or breakfast with him and he sat down Michael Bay.
Yeah.
Or he didn't sit him down, like
Michael,
sit down.
Now you tell me, what have you done?
Exactly.
What did you do?
But he asked, he's like, what do you do with all the criticism? You've had like a lot of your movies. And apparently he's trying to make the absolute best product he can, like what his mind is bringing to film. Like, even though you might think his movies are complete like action schlock, he's putting his heart and soul into it. I was like, you know what? I respect that.
Yeah. No, I get that.
Like, they're not everybody's cup of tea, but those who don't give a fuck love those movies. I was like,
no,
maybe
absolutely.
I am paying too much attention to the story of a Transformers movie.
Yeah, no.
Maybe I'm the dickhead here.
Exactly, and that's why, like, as in back at the beginning of the fucking podcast, coined the phrase, it's a popcorn film, it's a Michael Bay film, just switch your brain off and enjoy the ride. And that's what he's trying to do. And to bring up long-time listener Tyler Gunn's comment from a few weeks back about him saying that Michael Bay could be probably one of the best directors that he's ever seen like make film because of the quantity of films that are enjoyable to watch. It's explosions over substance, Like,
that's right. Like, you're not watching any of his films for like the hidden themes and narratives of like certain
and the Easter eggs and like the little messages and stuff like that. No, we're not watching this film going, "Oh, is it going to make Best Picture Oscar?" No,
we're watching him make a giant robot blow up an entire fucking city block, and that's what we're here for.
We're watching him make Will Smith and Martin Lawrence threatening. Like that kind of thing.
Speaking of which, that's another movie I watched recently, Bad Boys for Life, the third one. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay, because it's a decent, just shut your brain off and enjoy the ride.
Well, there's a lot of heart to it, which is weird. So here's a mini review of that movie.
Get into it.
Little sidebar here for a second. Yeah, so Bad Boys for Life. There is kind of a weird twist story which really brings a lot of heart to the film.
Okay, right.
And you don't expect that.
Yeah, right.
You expect it to be like, dumb bad boys for life. But there is real meaning to why they
That was an amazing Will Smith, by the way.
You're welcome.
You're bad boys for life.
Sorry, it was more of a Martin Lawrence impression.
Bad boys for love.
That's what this movie sort of plays on, the fact that they are getting older and why do they still do this, and one of them retires and then Will Smith's character doesn't, but there's reasons for it, and there's a shock twist which doesn't make a whole lick of sense, but like we just discussed, it doesn't really matter. There was no lead up to this particular twisty event in the previous films, because obviously this was written with, in retrospect of any of those.
Of course.
But, it does try and pull on the heartstrings, and I think the actors involved, like Will Smith, great action actor, but also a terrific actor in his own right.
Yeah.
When he's given a lot like to work with and bring the emotion, even in a dumb action movie, he still does.
Yeah.
So, if you don't want a Bad Boys movie that goes to the next level when it comes to like balls to the wall action, but still has... Do you remember watching Gemini Man?
That
was basically him and like his clone or whatever.
Yeah.
Bad Boys for Life is like a much better version of that movie.
Okay, right. As much as they just CGI Martin Lawrence's face onto Will Smith acting.
That's right.
Yeah,
no, vice versa.
Exactly. That's right.
But it's got to do with like a younger version of himself, kind of, without spoiling too much of it. But it's done in a way where you care for these people. I
think he means his son.
Shh. You spoiled it, man.
I don't fucking know.
It genuinely is.
Exactly. Oh no, spoilers for that movie, for that sequel to that movie that we don't care about.
Yeah, true. But it was actually quite good. But Expendables 1 is great. Number 3 is fun, but I see why people hate it.
Yeah,
Anyway,
and number 2, I can't believe you watched it 10 times, Siege.
That's right.
But anyway, welcome Notice as well, jumping in. Oh, okay, good night to my children. Thanks, Mum. Okay, love you guys.
Too much swearing for them to stay up and watch.
Yeah, exactly. Why are you letting them watch this? They should be in bed. But anyway, all right, so Notice, welcome in. It's hot in here, says the guy in the giant purple hoodie.
And beanie, yes, for sure. And jeans, yes,
well,
for sure.
I mean, that's not a bad point, but also I was promised air conditioning. It's in our contract.
Well, it was
it's in the
that you signed 2 years ago. We had to deliver like a month later.
If we ever get into a position where we sign a contract, I'm making sure aircon's set to 20 degrees every fucking week.
Yeah, I want to be shivering cold.
Exactly. I want to be able to wear a parka.
Yeah. Another action movie we've got here is Saving Private Ryan. Now, that's on the other spectrum of, yes, it is an action movie first and, well, I wouldn't say first and foremost, but it's also driven by narrative.
Oh, yeah, no, that's a substance action film, 100%.
Yeah,
but also, it just drives me to the thought process now. Is there such thing as a pure action film? Because Saving Private Ryan is an action war film.
Yep.
You know, MCU was mentioned in there. That's action, like superhero. You know, like,
yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? And then, Expendables? Action?
It's like, you know what I mean? Based on anything else other than just action.
Exactly.
Really.
And we spoke about the action sci-fi that you lean towards, you know, but that's definitely like, as in, you know, Alien, that's action sci-fi. You know, like.
And I was going to say the movie that I am reviewing later on is like Godzilla.
Is Alien even an action film? Am I a dickhead?
No, Alien 1
Alien's a sci-fi horror.
Is straight up sci-fi horror.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's a debate online as well. I saw an article for it earlier today, but I just scrolled past because I thought, this is dumb. I'm not getting involved in this. Is Alien a horror film, and can horror be set in space because it's sci-fi? Yeah.
Wait,
have you ever heard of like rock country or like pop metal? Like things can be like this combined, right? Like you can have two genres that melt together, right?
I mean, how dare you say that when Jason X exists?
Right?
You know, like
that's a perfect movie.
I'm sorry, that's fantastic, and that is sci-fi horror at its best in space.
Yeah,
in the future.
That's
okay. So.
Futuristic science fiction action in space.
Exactly, that's right. I mean, so how can you even question that?
That's right.
God, wait, who am I yelling at? Was it just an article or something?
Yeah, just yell at me. Just pretend it was me.
No, fuck you, dude. but that's a stupid question.
Is Alien a horror? It's like, well, yeah, it absolutely is. Yeah. Maybe the number 2 and 3 and 4 maybe lesser so, but...
No, but that's the stupidest point ever, you know, like as in, because it's a sci-fi film, can it be horror? Yes, it's called a crossbreed, you know? Yeah, exactly.
Cross-genre,
That's so stupid. That's so stupid. Like, it's like a romantic comedy. It's like, oh, no.
It's just too funny to be a romantic movie.
No, exactly, yes. No, Pretty Woman. No, that's a comedy. It's no romance. Like, you know, like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. We've got another one here from Notice saying that I Am Legend. I wouldn't really, personally, I wouldn't consider that as a straight-up action movie, though. That is more horror-themed. I got rid of
the Chinese takeaway just turned up.
See, I got rid of my shock mount, so I would no longer like knock it, and then I twang the springs.
And then you're missing your guitar streams. Where?
What? Oh, my guitar streams. Yeah, over at twitch.tv/Dilbo__. Recent name change.
Wait, did you really?
Yeah.
Oh,
just to get Dilbo.
Fuck the podcast.
And Willow says hi, Dylan. Hi, Willow. Isn't that sweet?
Oh, it's so sweet.
Go to bed.
Yeah, I know, exactly. I love you guys. I miss you guys terribly, but I'll be there when you wake up.
But yeah, so
if you go to sleep.
I Am Legend.
Yes.
So that wouldn't be that wouldn't be up your alley, would it? Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, I Am Legend's great. It came out when I worked at a video store.
Did you work at a video store?
I did work at a video store.
Tell me about it sometime.
One day I will.
Yeah.
I Am Legend is great, but I don't even... I don't know what genre to class that, because action-wise, I mean, it's not action-filled for the first, like, half an hour.
Like, there is action sprinkled throughout, but I think it's more... Would it be apocalyptic suspense thriller, almost?
Yeah. That's actually a good way to put it.
No, sorry, it can't be any of those. It has to be just one or the other.
Okay, all right. It's a biography.
Yes. Of events that were in somebody's brain one day.
Exactly, that's right.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Also known as a...
Heartbreaker.
Idea.
Yeah. Okay. So I Am Legend is classed as an idea.
A biography of an idea. That's
right. Exactly. Jesus. Yeah, no, exactly. But that's got so many subgenres as well, because, I mean, the creatures and stuff like that turns a bit horror towards the end as well.
That's right, yeah.
But can it be a horror because it's set in a what's it called?
It is getting hot in here.
A cosmopolitan. What's that word I'm thinking of?
Delicious beverage.
No, what's that? Shut the fuck up. What's it? It's pink and has an umbrella. What's the thing that I'm thinking of in Metropolitan?
What's the thing that I'm thinking of?
Come on, guys. On the ball, please. Jesus, come
man.
on. Metropolitan. Yeah, so no, it's a metropolitan film, so it can't be a horror or a thriller.
That's right, of course.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, yes, we've got another one.
Sex in the City.
Star Wars 3 Revenge of the Sith had some awesome action. And I know those movies, the prequels, try to have substance, but they're designed for kids, right? Because as a kid, I loved it. So,
of course.
Great action movie. Notice we've got another one in here. I think there's basically very few pure action movies, like we just mentioned.
Exactly.
Otherwise, they'd be the NASCAR of movie genres.
Oh, that's a brilliant term. I very much appreciate that.
You know, it's an excellent...
because it would just be bland and repetitive over and over and over.
Yeah. And you know what's a great example of that? Six Underground.
Yes, well played, Michael Bay.
Now, that is a movie that does genuinely suck.
No, that's exactly right. And I feel like that was literally just Michael Bay and Netflix going, here's some money. And him going, oh my God. Kill James Franco.
Like, this one is that movie was strictly and marketed for the Michael Bay fans of Michael Bay dumb action movies. Exactly. And you know what? They pulled it off.
No, we can bag that film out because it is a terrible film.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
technically, it's not.
If you want to see like the perfect monstrosity of action, that's that film.
Yeah,
everything about that film is so well done.
Yeah,
but it's awful. Like,
that's right.
Yeah, exactly. They were just like, I need some kind of story. Like, I don't know, you pretend to be dead and you kill people.
Yeah, and the cameras never stop moving, even though they're in a cafe drinking coffee. Right, just fucking sit still for a second. What are you going to give me a seizure?
No, but that's the thing. They are sitting still, just going, yes, we're going to pull this hit off, and the camera's like, oh, you motherfucker, fucking do it! Oh my God, sip the cappuccino, latte, no fat milk.
Yeah. Anyway, I wish we had some mods here because you want to become famous, buy followers now. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Anyway,
I don't know. We kind of do.
It's true.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
right.
Comment down below, like ASL. Do you remember ASL?
Age, sex, location. Yeah,
exactly. That's right. Yeah. Oh God, they're back in the chat days. Anyway, should we just talk about some news?
Yeah, absolutely. First one on the list. Now, I've got some other exciting things to talk about a little bit later, but straight out of the gate, Rick and Morty Season 5. Did you see that trailer?
Of course I did.
Yeah. How much of that trailer do you think, I'm not sure if I said this way too quickly, so to slow myself down for everybody listening, Rick and Morty Season 5.
Yes, Rick and Morty Season 5, Dan Harmon and the crew at Adult Swim just dropped the new trailer for the Season 5.
And that trailer is jam-packed full of interesting adventures, but what percentage of those adventures do you think are going to make it into the season?
I think there'll be about, out of the minute 30 trailer, I think there'll be about 15 seconds of that's in the show.
Yeah, I think the rest of it is pure trailer.
Because knowing them, and they've done it in previous seasons, they make a trailer because it's a trailer. They don't make a trailer from actual footage. So,
that's right.
Yeah, it's the same with the intro video, like the you know, what do you call it? Is that what it's called?
I'm going to call it that because I have no idea.
Yeah, the intro video at the beginning of every episode, like, is in, I think there's maybe like 2 or 3 scenes out of that have been in the actual show. Everything else is just random shit.
That's right. I remember watching, and it makes you looking forward to that, what's going to happen in that scene, and it never happens.
Exactly, that's right. And there's been multiple times where I've for about the first 2 seasons, been watching it going, when are we going to see that bit? And then I finally was like, oh, they're fucking with us. You know, like, it just doesn't happen. But no.
Yeah.
It looks brilliant, of course.
Yeah.
It's Rick and Morty. It's one of those things where I wanted to add it to Trailer Park, but I'm like, how do you break this down?
No, you can't. You can't. And that's like when we used to try and review the latest episode of Season 4. It's like, it's Rick and Morty stuff.
Exactly, that's right. Yeah.
And I would love to be able to review the latest episodes of Solar Opposites.
Yes.
Last time we had a podcast, I didn't have binge.
Yes.
And because of the release of Zack Snyder's Justice League, I had to get binge in order to watch it. And I was only going to activate my 14-day free trial in order to watch that and then can it.
Yeah.
But God damn it, I've caught up on so much good stuff.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So there's actually quality content.
But taking a step back, it's not on binge. It's on Disney Plus, the whole Star thing. Remember?
Well, never mind.
Yeah. Or is it? No, it is on Star.
No, it is on Star, yeah.
That's right. So I'll talk about binge in a moment.
Because Solar Opposites was a Hulu? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you know what's weird about it too is like throughout the episodes themselves, they mention that they are a Hulu product.
Really?
Several times over.
Okay.
So it'd be weird to watch it on like Netflix or Disney Plus.
Yeah.
You know, like it's quite good. It's
quite for the countries that don't have Hulu, we finally got it. So that's good.
Yeah. And do you still have your Disney Plus subscription?
Yes, I do.
Yes. Well, you have access to Disney Plus, I should say.
Yes. I do.
Yeah, cool. Well, yeah. Everything on that star, like that's it's legit.
It's quality, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't believe it when they released Star. I was like, oh yeah, I'll have a look at this, and I was like, wait, what?
Wait, what?
I know, and I was like, oh, you're a legitimate service now, not just cartoons,
not just Disney
not
stuff,
just cartoons and The Simpsons and National Geographic, yeah, and The Mandalorian,
yeah. But quite good. But in the same vein, the same thing has happened to me with Binge.
Yes.
And
okay.
as much as it fucking pains me to say it, Binge is a product of Foxtel.
Okay, yeah.
But,
right.
There's some quality shit on there which I've been meaning to catch up on for a very long time. So I've been able to catch up on a few extra TV shows and things like that. Like, for example, I've recently watched the latest series of what's called Superman and Lois.
Oh, wait, Dean Cain?
Oh, I wish that was on there.
Okay.
I
was like, fuck yeah, do it. Dean Cain, Terry Hatcher, fucking get it.
I really want to watch that, but it's not on there.
Okay.
It might be one day because they've got like the DC properties, but I've been able to watch this spin-off and without going into it, it's really fucking good.
Okay.
There's a lot of heart to it.
So who's the Superman in that?
I don't know his name.
Oh, okay.
He handsome young devil. Plays the lead character of Clark Kent, aka Superman.
Dean Cain.
Yes. But no.
That'd be amazing if it was Dean Cain now.
But the story itself, even though you expect it to be, hey, Superman fighting bad guys, it's more about, hey, they have kids and they're teenagers.
Yeah.
How the hell do they deal with that?
Yeah.
Moving back to Smallville. And that's what the series is more about. There's a lot of heart to it. Yeah, it's really
Imagine having him as your dad.
Well,
like,
that's
stop that. What are you going to do? Oh, mate, you want to bet?
Well, one of the kids kind of has a bit of hereditary sort of issues going on there. So
shit.
That's what, but it's the angsty one.
Inbreeding. Wait, is it? Oh,
yeah.
God. Wait, what?
The angsty teenager is the one that discovers he has powers, and it sets the expectation that the jock kid is going to be the special one, but no.
Okay,
tables turn,
right.
but quite good. But anyway, exciting news for you, Mitchell.
For me?
Yeah.
For me?
For you.
What
only
have you got?
for you.
Oh, only for me.
Only for you.
Everybody else, shut up.
Yeah. Everybody, stop it. Shh. Knives Out 2 and 3 are on the way.
Yes, very much exciting news. I absolutely love that. My film of 2019. Yes.
Yeah, the last time we got to see movies and such.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much on a regular basis. But my film of 2019, Knives Out, absolutely fantastic film. Make sure to watch it now because you've all got Amazon Prime. We all know you do, absolutely.
If you haven't already by the time you've been listening to us, why do you still listen? Because we will shill that shit for the rest of time.
No, exactly. That's right. So Knives Out 2 and 3 on their way, and they also have a special home where they are going. Who's going to be funding them?
Netflix. And you know what? That's not a bad thing.
That is tasty.
Although... How often do we get Netflix and theatrical releases? Usually we get Amazon and Hulu and whatever else.
Well, see, that's the thing. We don't have an expected date yet. It'll be next year sometime for the first or the second one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I expect, fingers crossed, the world is back to normal to a degree, and that we will get a cross release as well. I mean, either way, I'm watching it the day it comes out.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But if I have the option to go to the movies, I'll go to the movies. I paid 3 times to watch Ryan James's Knives Out in theaters. Ryan Johnson, my apologies. Yeah. I will be doing the same thing even if it's on Netflix at home.
I was about to say a really dumb thing as well. I was going to say it's not the kind of movie that you have to go to the cinemas for, but when you think about it, no, it's visually stunning.
Oh yeah.
There are some scenes like that. The Knives Out is filmed in a mansion.
Yes.
And it's kind of like Ready or Not, where like the mansion is built in such a way where you can have some really interesting cinematic scenes play out.
Yeah.
And it deserves the big screen viewership,
Absolutely,
I've recently seen Godzilla vs. Kong, and I went to the VMAX to see it. Hey, what did you follow? Thanks to you. Something your mum? I've missed that.
Was it Dr. Your Mum?
I think it was Dr. Your Mum. Thank you for that follow. I appreciate it.
Dr. Your Mum. Oh, God, I don't know what's going on. Hi, Daddy. Here's the comment.
Okay, moving on.
Anyway,
yes.
Hey, Habbo
Hotel, do you remember that shit?
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah.
Shit.
But there are some movies that need to be seen on the big screen.
Yeah.
Do we need moderators in here? Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. Your kids going to bed? Fingers crossed.
Come on, Mum.
Okay. Close that chat out. Anyway, okay. What was I talking about?
I don't know, Habbo.
Hammer Hotel was great.
Oh, Hammer Hotel. We're going Hammer now, yeah.
Speaking of Hammer Hotel,
yeah, another rabbit hole.
Yep. I've recently joined a group on Facebook, Australian Podcasters Group, and I posted our stuff on there about where our humble beginnings, where we're moving forward to, blah 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 blah.
Yes.
And made note that we're from Newcastle, and I've given like sort of certain hints and things, not hints, sorry, but like advice to other newcomers about what their setup should be and things like that and how they've produced it. And somebody on there said, hey, they're going to have like an Australian podcasters meet meet up at Hamo Station. I was like, wow.
Hamilton Station?
Hamilton Station. I was like, wow, the old stomping ground. Keep me posted. I haven't heard anything since.
Yeah, right.
Whether I go to it, yeah, great idea. But
wow, Hamilton Station hosting a podcasting get-together.
Yeah, well, it's just people from Newcastle who have podcasts, obviously. So the coolest people on the planet.
Exactly. All 6 of us.
Yeah.
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 We see you, I don't know, Newcastle Knights podcast, I assume, out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, anyway, I'm not sure what's going on, but I feel like Jasmine, my niece, is in the chat, and potentially her boyfriend, and I think there might be some going on there. But anyway.
Okay, hi Daddy. Hi, I'm Jasmine, Dad. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
I think, but the dirty
Squeaks 24. Hi, Squeaks 24. Anyway, yeah. So, Knives Out is a film that you have to sort of appreciate on the big screen several times.
Yes.
What I missed?
No. There's somebody who's jumped in the chat. Squeaks 24.
Yeah.
Mullet Man. My niece recently. Happy belated 18th birthday. 18. My niece.
Ooh, big 1-8.
Exactly. Yeah. No. And I was
it's all downhill from here.
I was of course had a few drinks in me and pimped the podcast a little bit.
Oh, did you?
And it looks like that we've got some new 18-year-olds jumping in chat here to say hello.
Hey, kids.
Hello. Yes.
Hey, kids.
I'm there offering life advice because I'm the 29-year-old and they're all like, whoa.
Wow.
What's it like to be old? And I'm like, fucking shit.
It sucks. Don't do it.
Exactly.
Don't do it. It's a bad idea.
It was a glorious mullet. We will say that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I thought that was like a stream of follows there, but no.
No, that's mine. Don't worry about that. Anyway,
that's yours.
It is. I didn't log out and log it back into it. Anyway,
of course.
But yeah, so Knives Out 2 and 3, they have the same budget as well. So we're going to get the same kind of grand spectacle. But what are you expecting as a Knives Out fan? Would you like Daniel Craig's investigative character to investigate more mysteries around the existing family or a new family?
No, I think it's time to move on. I think he absolutely nailed that. Yeah. And I want to see... Knives Out is essentially, okay, you cannot look past the cast of characters that they got, the talent they had in that film, because that's what fucking made that film.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I want to see Benoit Blanc move on to another case.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm happy for... I can't remember his name, but the uber-talented African-American detective.
Oh, he's in Uncut Gems
yeah,
and
exactly.
he's in Get Out. Yeah.
I would love to see those detectives come in as well, like as in him being the serious one, and then you had the other dude who was like the fanboy saying, "Oh, big fan," like as in, love your work,
So you'd like to see these films to continue the investigative stories of those characters, not so much the family, but those investigative characters.
Well, I mean, technically the family's fucked.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Chris Evans went to jail. Spoilers. It just fucking ruined the first movie. It's fantastic. If you haven't seen it by now, it doesn't matter. Yeah. But yeah, no. So I'd like to see Benoit Blanc move on. Move on to his next topic. And what I'm saying is, if the detectives come into it as well, if it's the same area, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
But otherwise, it's Benoit Blanc, Daniel Craig. It's his film. Get another stacked list of 7 A-listers in there and do it all again.
Yeah, for sure.
Simple as that. Like, as in, I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah, sick. Anyway, everybody who's a newcomer to the stream tonight, if you listen to this later on a podcast episode, you can find us on twitch.tv/2C3pod live. But
exactly.
Vice versa, if you do watch this live, you can check out this episode later on all of those podcast platforms. But if you read the title of the episode, what is your favorite action movie? Drop that down below and we'll discuss it briefly.
But most importantly, if you're new to viewing right now, fucking smack the follow button.
Give us a follow.
We want to see the ding dings going off. Come on, let's do it. I mean, throw a cheeky subscribe in there. Why don't you? Yeah. Exactly. Or biddies for the titties. You never know what could come along. Let's make a party out of this, shall we?
For sure. That's right.
Exactly. Wait. Oh, what? No. Notice had the. Oh, you had.
What have we missed?
Okay, no. Notice just saying. I thought Notice was saying that Spy Club got spoiled for them.
Thank you for the follow. No, you 012345.
Woo! Exactly. Yes. Let's get amongst it. But I thought Notice was saying that he got Fight Club spoiled for him, but somehow avoided that. Oh,
thank you for the follow, Squeaks24.
Yes, get onto it, absolutely. Share it on socials as well. Do all that jazz.
Absolutely. Yes.
Absolutely.
Don't know where that came from. Anyway.
There's the Kiwi coming out in you.
Yeah.
Let me out.
Oh, no. It's all right, cuz. Don't worry about me, bro.
Oh, bro. Oh, yes. But anyway.
What were you saying?
No, I was just saying, like, as in, I thought Fight Club got spoiled for Notice, but somehow I managed to avoid spoilers and got to enjoy the film.
Like yeah, absolutely.
2 years ago, which is impressive for a 20-year-old film.
Isn't that great to be able to experience old things for the first time in, like, 2021?
Oh, yeah. It reminds me of when I watched The Usual Suspects with Kevin Spacey for the first time about 4 years ago, and somehow I had avoided all spoilers, even though I knew of pop culture references.
Yeah.
And I avoided all spoilers. And then at the end, it was like, oh my God, mind blown. And I'm like, this is a 1996 film, and I'm watching it in 2017.
Yeah.
And getting the same thrill of going, fuck off. You know,
But
like, oh.
that still even happens with
shit.
old movies, because I recently,
Yeah.
it's weird how many things I get to watch when we have a couple of weeks off podcasting. For some
Yeah.
reason, I must get them all in on my Tuesday and Wednesday night.
No, it's weird. Normally in a 7-day period, it's like, have you watched anything? Day of, and you're like, nope. You know, we take like 2 weeks off, and you're like, oh my God, I'm so sick of TV.
Yeah. But I recently watched The Fly. Jeff Goldblum, The Fly.
Yeah,
What a
and?
fucking movie, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen it before, but only once before.
Oh, I love
But I was
that.
like, oh my God, like, they just don't make
Yeah.
movies like this anymore.
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
they do, but not really, you know?
Yeah.
Like, God, what a film.
Yeah.
What a film. But it happens to me a lot as well with games. Like I'm a huge fan of, like, old school video games, and I get to experience something old for the first time now. But there is one I'm still hanging on to.
Yeah.
Still hanging on to. The Reanimator.
Oh, dude.
I can't. Although I say that I can't wait to watch it, I'm just kind of waiting for like the perfect moment.
Yeah.
Where I can get like a VHS copy or like a dirty DVD version, so it's not
Dude,
crystal clear.
I've got it fucking waiting for you, man.
Yeah, but you know, if you give it to me, you'll never get it back.
No, exactly. I know you've still got hot attention.
I know. You've still got my VHS.
I do. Exactly. Yeah, but I do still have a VCR, man, and I do still have some shitty copies of old 80s independent horror films.
Oh, dude, they're
so
great.
we need
Yeah.
to sit down and actually watch them one night. I feel like there wouldn't be copyright issues with those kind of things. If we could somehow like tee it up to be able to stream it and watch it, that'd be fucking brilliant.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I know, it's strange. Yeah. But anyway, carry on. Can you guys hear that? I don't know. Why is there a kiwi inside him? I don't know. Why'd you eat him?
Oh, it was big and juicy.
Yeah, well, okay, big and juicy.
He was big stairs, and I fried him up.
Yes, but Knives Out 2 and 3 coming to Netflix in the next couple of years, so that's very exciting for me.
Absolutely. But the other thing as well, you know, in terms of news, before we get on to like we talked about that I have recently seen Godzilla versus Kong, and like to have a little bit of a review here, like there's not much to really spoil that hasn't already been said. What have I got?
No, that's gross. Notice has just pointed out that the 80s is 40 years ago.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Those movies are still great. Yeah.
No, nothing about the quality of the movies. But,
Absolutely.
It's just terrifying to think about that.
1 second.
Yeah. No worries.
Okay, so I stopped the audio recording for the podcast, so that way they won't hear this, but we're still live on stream.
Yeah, of course.
I have a feeling that could be...
Are you wanting to... Oh, God. The panic.
That's fine. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
Technical difficulties.
Don't
Do you
worry
just
about
want to pull the audio from... Hey, how are we all doing tonight, by the way?
Pippy Bung Holio, welcome in, my dude.
Hello, Squeaks24. Where's your lamp? Where your lamp? Where's mine? I don't know what you mean. Where your lamp? I don't know. But hey, we've got a chance to actually talk to chat. What's going on?
Give it a crack while I just...
How you
fuck around
doing,
with a few
okay?
things.
We've got a fair few of you in here. Let's get this. He seems to walk just fine. Oh, where's your limp?
Where's my limp?
Do you have a limp?
I don't know. I said my knee was sore, but I'm not limping.
Yeah, I'm not sure. How do they know? He seems to walk just fine. I don't know what's going on here. They having their own conversation.
Yeah, they must be. All
I
right,
don't
hold
know.
on.
That the party? Stanley
coming
leg?
through. What
Do you
is
mean
that?
stanky leg? I know.
You guys can hear that, right? Where it's just
Yeah.
kind of going... Wasn't happening before.
Wait.
So I do need a new cable. Just unplug that. Hold on.
But I like talking to the people.
We'll be back in a second.
I'm about to start muting myself, like, as a joke. It's still happening, and I'm not doing shit.
Yeah.
It's not me.
1 second.
I broke my mic! I can't get it back in now. It sounds fine to them.
Sounds fine.
Why? Do. Are we still live? Okay, cool.
There we go. That sounds better.
Yeah. Apparently,
All I had to do was
not Mike, like Mike, microphone.
All right.
Oh, that's funny.
So that sounds much better, doesn't it? Because like, I unplug it and plug it back in again.
That old thing. If
That
we
old
called IT, they would have said, "Have you turned it on
Have you
and
turned
off
it off
again?"
and on again?
Exactly.
IT crowd.
Yeah, exactly.
Great movie.
Just put
Great
it
TV
in,
show.
bitch. oh, Taylor, since you're here, you want to whack that AC for us?
Yes. Can you please do that for us?
Bust
that would
it,
be greatly
please and
appreciated.
thank you. Your husband requires it. Can't. He's full of kiwi. That's funny. Good shit. No, it's back, by the way. You can hear that, right? It's still there, dude.
It's not as bad.
It's going to be just as bad when we start talking. Anyway,
it's fine.
If you guys can hear that, just, I don't know, ignore it. If you can't, awesome. We're just...
Yeah, going crazy. Anyway, but yeah, Godzilla vs. Kong, back on the action movie train from the discussion this week. You know, so I did get to see it on the VMAX, on the big screen.
On the VMAX?
On the VMAX. I was on top of the VMAX. Yeah.
Yeah? How was the crowdage?
The crowdage was the most filled a cinema has been in a long time, but at the same time, it was like less than a quarter full.
Okay, yeah.
And I made the kind of silly mistake initially by sitting quite close, thinking, Jesus Christ, I'm going to need my glasses for this. But saying that, because of the kind of film that it is, I felt like I was watching an IMAX movie. Dude, it was great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so, but the film as a whole, like, as in, without getting too in-depth with it, like, as in the film as a whole...
I loved it.
Yeah? Okay.
I actually... See, it's gone now.
Yeah, I know. Strange. Thank you for making sure that's only because you're about to hit that follow button if you haven't already, and that's why it's fixed. If you don't, it's going to come back.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Anyway, yeah, so I did get to see the movie, and yeah, it was genuinely fun to watch. Oh, that air conditioning is so good. And
thank you, Taylor.
Yeah, so I was sitting quite close up to it, thinking, God, I'm going to need my glasses for this. But no, I didn't. It was shot beautifully.
Yeah.
If you ignore the story, that's what everybody's saying about this movie. The human characters are boring. Yeah, they are, because they're not supposed to be interesting. Yeah. They're kind of just there to pad the time out.
Exactly.
Otherwise,
fights.
If it's just straight up monster versus monster, you've got a 20-minute movie. So they need a few bits and pieces in between, but I wasn't actually planning to see this movie because I wasn't a huge fan of Godzilla 2014.
Yes, of
Didn't
course.
really like Kong Skull Island. And Godzilla King of Monsters, I thought, yeah. But at the same time, I watched it on a computer screen. Maybe I would have enjoyed it more on the big screen.
Yeah, true. But
after watching this, I was like, this is the best movie out of all of those.
Okay.
And it was just monsters beating the living shit out of each other.
Yeah.
It was visually stunning. It was really good. It had you rooting for particular characters.
Yeah.
But it did pull the whole Batman versus Superman trick in the end.
Okay,
and I know you haven't seen it.
The best part is I've seen that about 4 times. People saying, "Oh, it's like Batman vs Superman." Morgan did the same thing. Like, as in my sister. Shout out to my sister. Said, you know, "Oh, did Batman vs Superman?" And I'm sitting there going, "I don't know what the fuck that means because I haven't seen that shit."
Okay, so
no. Well, I mean, do you want to say it or not?
Like, I will, because
I feel like it might be a spoiler.
Well, it is an absolutely big spoiler.
Did Superman pop in and then die?
I wish. But no, like, the reason that I went to see this movie initially is because the director spoiled his own fucking movie. I was like, you know what? As much as that is a massive spoiler, and I would have loved to have been surprised by that, it was the one thing that encouraged me to go see it in the first place, and I'm glad I did. Because when I say they pulled the BVS, so anybody who's watching or listening to this right now, if you don't want spoilers about Godzilla versus Kong.
That's a better title.
It is. Kongzilla. That would have been great.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man. And it would have made more sense because of what I'm about to spoil. But anyway, turn it off now and then come back in about 30 seconds. But yeah, in the end, Godzilla twice does kick the living shit out of Kong. Okay. He technically wins twice.
Okay.
But at the end, they have to come together to fight the bigger threat.
Oh, really?
Mechagodzilla.
Wait, what?
Mechagodzilla.
Like a robot?
Fuck yeah.
Really?
Fuck yeah.
Who built him?
A company called Apex. Which
Why?
That's to have a... That's right, to have like a defense against Godzilla. But that's why Godzilla attacks the humans, because he knows there's a bigger threat and he's coming to deal with it. So they bring in Kong to try and help them out. But in the end,
the Mechagodzilla like sensed that there was a bigger Godzilla coming. So he's like, I've got to get there. And they're like, stop. And he's like, go away. And then they're like, bring the big one. And then they start fighting. And he's like, dude, there's a problem.
Well, that's what Godzilla is all about. It's all about being the biggest like threat, but also the protector of Earth. That's kind of the story.
I gotta say, have to be good. After you've told me that, I can't wait to not watch this movie.
Oh, dude, I know it's not something that you want to see at all.
It would be fine if I switched my brain off, but oh my God.
But the thing that made
I couldn't fathom that.
The thing that made me want to watch it the most was the best part of the movie, and it was Kong and Godzilla fighting a giant mechanized Godzilla, and I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
This is mad.
And they're both, oh God, they're speed bagging his balls. Like big metal. Exactly,
but
yeah.
The reason I kind of am disappointed in it because it was called Kongzilla. Fuck. Godzilla versus Kong.
Oh, that's fantastic.
But they did the BVS thing. Neither of them died.
Yeah.
The director was like, there's a clear winner here. The clear winner. Yeah, it's both of them because friendship. Like, fuck off. Like, either kill Kong Or kill Godzilla.
So did they kill Mecha Godzilla?
They killed my favorite character. They killed Mecha Godzilla.
They
could have kept him.
Right. Yeah, okay, right. That just okay. All right. A couple of things. You've got some hydrates to get back up onto.
I've been drinking the whole time. Yeah.
And Taylor, if you want that to happen, you're gonna have to deliver it. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
I think it is time. Oh, actually, before we move on to that,
time to wrap it up.
Well, actually, do you want to move on to anything that you've watched this week very quickly before we move on to?
I will just briefly touch on, in particular, a new one that's come onto Netflix recently, 1996 film called Sleepers, starring Kevin Bacon, Robert De Niro, and Brad Pitt, and so many more. It's a fantastic film, and apparently based on true story as well, like told by this one particular main character. But it's about 4 boys who end up accidentally in 1967, I think it was, in Hell's Kitchen, which is a suburb of near Brooklyn, New York, around that area, and they're just like 2 kids on the street kind of thing, and then
I do not understand American cities and suburbs, dude. I just I thought it might have been a part of Helsinki because it's kind of similar. I've got no fucking idea. Genuinely,
I honestly thought when I saw about 4 boys who grew up in Hell's Kitchen, I was like, is Gordon Ramsay in this? But no,
you donkey.
No, so they grow up there and they accidentally kill somebody, so they get sent to a juvenile prison, which really fucks them up big time, literally and figuratively.
No shit.
And Kevin Bacon is the main proponent of that, and it's just a story about a murder when they're adults, but it all stems from their childhood and it all joins together, and it's fucking fantastic. It's a great movie. So it's currently on the new on Netflix section, but it's from 1996. Fantastic. If you like Kevin Bacon, Brad Pitt, Robert De Niro, all those guys, it's fucking great.
So like an A-list 90s cast.
Oh, 100%, exactly.
Which would still be A-list today, like, be honest.
You could almost say it was a sleeper hit. Well, it's called Sleepers. It's a good joke.
I did Google it before, because when you mentioned it, and it was like a $65 million budget, but it made like $160 million back, or something like that. The ratio is massive.
Yeah, well, the ratio is acceptable, but also for a like hard-hitting 2.5-hour drama.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, like, as in, it was definitely like award caliber film, you know? So that kind of film from the 90s. But I know you've got like a list as long as a video store back in the day. Did you want to touch on a few highlights without getting
I was going to say, I've mentioned most of them already. Zack Snyder's Justice League. It's fucking 3 and a bit hours long, 4 hours long. It's great. I loved it. Cool. I love every second of it.
Worth the wait.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it was worth it.
Okay.
Whether the wait doesn't matter.
It was worth watching.
I've been watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I didn't think I was going to, but after WandaVision was good.
Fucking Vision.
Fucking Vision some milk or some
exactly,
shit. Falcon and Winter Soldier is quite good. So no surprises there. I've already talked about Superman and Lois. I've recently watched a horror film that we reviewed for Trailer Park a little while back called His House.
Ah, yes.
These next 2 films I watched on Netflix. So one that came out in 2015, starring 2C3 Pod hit list favourite Anya Taylor-Joy was The Witch. I finally sat down to watch the whole thing. Wow. And magnificent film. But His House.
Okay. Yep.
His House. It's essentially about... I'm not sure exactly which part of Africa they're from, but African refugees basically escape their home country and they go to Britain, like because they come from a war-torn country.
Of course.
And they some theoretical demons follow them across the oceans, but it turns out they're manifesting as real demons, technically, in this house that they're forced to live in.
Yeah.
And without
squalor.
Without spoiling too much of it.
Please don't.
Yeah, because it's the reason that we don't spoil movies and TV shows here is because we generally want you to experience them.
Mechagodzilla! We don't spoil shit.
No, I said that incorrectly. I knew you were going to fucking pull me up on that.
As soon as you said that, I'm like, you're a lying cunt.
What I meant to say was, we'll spoil a lot of shit because this is like, whatever. Mechagodzilla, cool.
Yeah, exactly. But when I spoiled Knives Out just before as well.
Yeah, but it's
motherfucker. Exactly. It's 2 years old, though.
That's right. And this is on Netflix. You can watch it.
Yeah.
But... There's some movies that we would like you to experience firsthand that are genuinely good. And a lot of horror films these days are hard to impress me.
Yeah.
There's not many that really give me the creeps or do anything new, because Taylor and I have watched a lot of dog shit horror movies lately. Our conversation now is like, do you want to watch a movie? Do you want to risk it? You know, because we've seen so much dog shit.
Been there several times where it's kind of like, need something new. Yeah, but what if it's bad?
Yeah. But his house is genuinely one of the most recent films of late that's new that genuinely creeped me out.
Nice.
The kind of ending was a bit like, heartwarming, but it kind of has to wrap up that way. But throughout the film, I was like, wow, this is genuinely spooky.
Is there a twist on the end?
Yes, to how they got there and why the events are playing out. It wraps it up very nicely, but it's so unique. And the fact that they've come from like a war-torn African country just adds this extra element to it, which you just don't see and experience with regular Western films. Oh, white family moves to a new house because they didn't like their neighbors. Yeah. No, they were escaping some terrible shit.
Yeah, right.
And that kind of follows them through. So definitely watch His House if you can.
And I love a good British accent too, so I'm all down.
Yeah, well, there's not much of that in there because it's mostly African.
Right. Yeah, is it Nigeria? Is it?
Or as I said, I'm not really sure exactly what country it is, but an African country.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway,
I think it's time. Ooh, better soon my cousin loves time to head on down to the trailer park. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for Trailer Park, one of our favorite weeks of the year. Weeks of the.
We do this once a year every year.
Yeah, exactly. The only time this year that we're going to do it. Ignore the others on YouTube.
Wait.
Oh, God.
Today's the 7th of April, right? As of this recording.
It is.
Will it be 2 years of the podcast next Wednesday?
I think so.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's like the 14th.
And you haven't followed us already? What are you doing?
Exactly. Make sure to whack that like and follow button wherever you can. Make sure to check out socials and the podcasts everywhere. 2C3 Pod. Oh,
links
my God.
are all down below. But anyway, Trailer Park is where we review the latest trailers to hit the interwebs. We're a little late off that once a year. We're a little late or like behind, but essentially there's no new real interesting trailer. So we're going to talk about a few that dropped over the past few weeks.
We like talking about our 3 favorite from the week that once was.
That's
and these
right.
ones were written for last week, which unfortunately didn't happen. But at the same time, these 3 trailers deserve to be fucking spoken about.
Let's
so we're doing it,
them.
okay? Yeah. All right, let's get into it with the first one this week. Wrath of Man.
Wrath of Man.
Look what happens. We take a couple of weeks off Trailer Park.
Great start.
I wrote this last week. Fuck me, Dad. Look what happens. We take a couple of weeks off Trailer Park and bam, we get smacked with 3 absolutely out of this world gems. Kicking us off this week, we have the next Guy Ritchie film, Wrath of Man. The story follows Jason Statham as he is hired as a driver of armored trucks carrying millions of dollars. Of course, in that line of work, you would expect some potential robberies, but when he is driving, there seems to be a lot more. Maybe like someone is leaking their locations. Well, maybe, but it's not because he wants the trucks to get robbed. It's because he's out for revenge to find the truck thieves who murdered his son years ago. A good old classic revenge story full of action, gunplay, Guy Ritchie filming style, and Post Malone getting shot in the face. What's not to love? Coming to Aussie theaters 29th of April, over a month before the US. Fuck yeah.
So when I first... Look, you.
Yeah, exactly. Just all of you.
When I first watched this trailer, I was like, oh, here we go. It's another John Wick knockoff, spin-off. Well, not spin-off, but knockoff, essentially.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. You can address that.
Hi, Dragoon.
Yes.
How you doing? And Slowpoke Felitos. Hey.
Welcome in. But yes, Wrath of Man is yet another lone man who's really skilled and kills a lot of people because he's really good at the thing. Taken John Wick, that most recent Nobody that looks quite good.
Oh, Bob Odenkirk. Yeah. I want to be all over that as soon as possible.
You know, dumb action movies, right? But you're like, ooh, looks good.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
At first glance, I was like, you know what? I'm not really interested in this. But then our good friend Darcy has mentioned that, this is a Guy Ritchie film. I was like, okay, you have my interest.
No, that's exactly right. In that private message that he sent both of us, he was like, oh, check this out. And you're like, oh, you mean like this fucking film that's fucking terrible? Fuck this film. And then he's like, it's a Guy Ritchie film. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. I mean, exactly. Yeah, no, but absolutely, man. Everything about this fucking screams awesome.
Yeah.
Like Guy Ritchie's last film, The Gentleman. I mean, exactly, that's right. So in Guy Ritchie, we trust. So I'm all about this, man. I mean, Jason Statham, you can say what you want about him, but when he's doing what he does best, which is just like gunfire revenge type films.
The next Liam Neeson.
No, exactly. He's getting a jump start on it. He saw Liam and went, oh, I've got to get in there. Get in there now, you know. So he'll be starring in romantic soppy dramas about a dying wife with cancer soon.
You know what?
But
I wouldn't be opposed to him doing that because I watched this trailer again tonight, been thinking, has he ever done like a romantic comedy? He's done like comedy things. Like he's been really funny in some movies.
His dry British humor is like on point when it's delivered right. But could you imagine him in a romantic comedy or like a dramedy?
Yeah.
You know, like as in a comedy drama and he's there holding his dying son and he's like, it's fucking all right. It's going to be fucking fine.
We'll get a schooner in here, lad. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
I love you. It's fine.
Yeah,
exactly.
But that's the thing. Like, he plays like a straight
Bury
face.
him. Like that's just,
I'll do it myself.
Exactly.
Just digs with his bare fucking hands.
Exactly. You got to do it right yourself. No.
But yes, Jason Statham plays a guy who's hardened because of the death of his family. And then he's out for revenge. He seems to be working for this like armor guard kind of company that transports cash from place to place. But it seems like he's been hired deliberately to try and track down a group or a gang. That were responsible for killing his kids and his wife and whatever else. Anyway, I want to talk about the cast for a moment. Scott Eastwood, Clint Eastwood's son.
Yes.
Looks exactly like him. Great actor. Quite good.
Fine with that.
Post Malone, he's here. Cool. The dude's good at everything he does, and I don't fucking get it.
Have you noticed Event Cinemas sent out an email or put a post on social media, and they listed it as Jason Statham and Post Malone?
They did the same thing with...
And I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
There was...
in the trailer, Post Malone gets his face shot off.
There was a movie that I recently watched with Mark Wahlberg. It went straight to Netflix, where he was like in the trailer. He was in a prison, remember? And Mark Wahlberg breaks out.
Oh, yeah. I feel like...
The title was yellow.
No, that's The Rock.
The title was yellow.
Yeah, no, the title was yellow, and I feel like it had a name in the title.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know, what's next, Mike? That's the next.
What's next, Mike?
What's next, Mike? And then it's Mark Wahlberg with an African American next to him going.
That's right, but Post Malone was like posted all over. Placed all over this thing.
I just realized that's not bad. Yeah, exactly. And it was like, leave him alone. I'll take that.
Josh Hartnett.
Yes,
dude.
I know.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw him in the trailer, I was like, no.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm all about that. Yeah,
absolutely.
No, so everything about this, yes, big summer blowout. Can't wait. Going to be a good time. Guy Ritchie, Jason Statham. He's all fucking dying.
I'll get your revenge. Don't worry about that.
Do you take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife? Well, fucking more right.
Well, I guess so.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking.
But that message to Darcy where I was like, hey, remember this movie that
with John Travolta?
It was called Wrath of Man.
Yeah.
And this is called... No, sorry, this is... I Am Wrath.
Yeah.
And it was literally John Wick, but with John Travolta, and it bombed big time. I was like, are they doing another one of these fucking movies? But it's Guy Ritchie. It's almost like Guy Ritchie's going, you know what? People like those movies. I reckon I can do better than that.
I don't have a... Yeah, no, exactly. But I don't have it put up here. But this is actually a Guy Ritchie adaptation of a French film from 2004.
Ooh,
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
keen to check that out. Yeah.
Exactly. A French action film based around this exact same concept.
Can't come up with your own ideas, man? Or...
Leave him alone. Fucking all right. All right, moving on. All right, now, again, we are 1 week late, but still, we're going to talk about it. The Suicide Squad.
Yes, do it.
Finally, it is here. We've been harping on about this film since it first was dreamed into inception long, long ago, and now we finally have our first look at a finished product of the new James Gunn film, The Suicide Squad. Holy dooly. After seeing the trailer smothered with the A-list of A-listers, I don't think I could be more keen. The Red Band trailer gave us so much action, violence, dark comedy, and smatterings of blood and guts to whet even the appetite of King Shark. Honestly, this trailer could have given us nothing to do with plot or story, and I would still be chomping at the bit to get it on the big screen, and it's not far off now coming to local theaters August 5.
When you say the trailer could have nothing to do with like plot, kind of doesn't, does it?
No, that's what I mean, exactly. And that's why I wanted to reference that. The fact that this trailer was just non-stop, just everything on the screen. But all we know is that at the beginning, Harley Quinn's missing, so they find her.
Yeah.
And then they team up to do something.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm fine with that.
There is a bit of a reveal, which I think James Gunn, when writing this film, was like, you know what? I'm going to find this craziest and weirdest Justice League villain and put this in this movie with the craziest and weirdest characters. And I think he's absolutely nailed one of the villain plots with Starro.
Oh, yeah.
So Starro, I've only learned this recently from other like comic book podcasts being like, they've put this fucking thing in this movie. Let's explain what it is. God damn it, that's the second time.
Bang. Just excited to be down the tread boat. Ding, 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 ding. Exactly, yeah. Just getting into it.
That's right. Good. Anyway, Starro is a gigantic starfish with like telepathic abilities and stuff.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. And the trailer's like, what the fuck? And everyone's going to be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And all the DC nerds are going to be like, what the fuck? Why would they put that in a movie? But who would you trust more?
Exactly.
Than someone like James. I mean, this
Exactly.
this trailer screams R-rated Guardians of the Galaxy. But I'm totally down for that.
Yes, no, absolutely. Everything about this fucking trailer just screams James Gunn and perfection.
Yeah.
Like, no, everything about this, like seeing everybody in their outfits and that, Pete Davidson, and then you got Nathan Fillion as well, like John Cena and that, like Idris Elba. Oh my God, everything about this. What's his name playing Polka Dot Man? You know,
we never remember his name, but he's great.
Exactly, like
he's great.
Seeing them all decked out, and what's his name, the Doctor Who guy as well with the fucking helmet. No, that's what I mean. Like, there's so many names.
Who are these people? Yeah,
there's so many names in this film, but you look at the characters and you're like, I just can't wait to see what they're going to do. Like, oh man,
who's your favorite so far out of the trailers that we have seen?
You know, I've got. Honestly, probably Nathan Fillion.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just absolutely love that. But I mean, King Shark as well. Like,
I was going to say, it's got to be King Shark for me, simply because Sylvester Stallone.
He was heavy in there, but I was showing somebody the trailer and they're like, nah, you know, and then I'm like, yeah, but look at this, and then showed them King Shark ripping the person in half, and they're like, yeah, all right, sold, you know, like, oh, I can't wait. Yeah, it's going to be so good.
King Shark in the comics is usually like a hammerhead shark, and the last time I saw him in like an animated or DC property, which was the Harley Quinn DC show on Amazon, it was like fully animated, completely violent, one of the funniest things I've ever watched.
Yeah.
King Shark was like a shy nerd, very intelligent. As far as my understanding of King Shark, he is supposed to be like a super intelligent, sentient being. But in this, he's just like a big doofus.
Yeah,
so he's kind of just there, and he's not really reacting to much stuff. And I'm so fucking keen on everything to do with this movie. It's so self-aware, and it cannot be more. If it was more self-aware, you could call it Deadpool.
Oh, yeah, you know,
true.
I think that'll be not that it would be missing from it, but in comparison with Deadpool, I think that would be the only thing missing would be breaking the fourth wall type thing.
Oh, they've got to have it in here at some point.
I don't want them to. I don't want them to. Okay. I trust James Gunn and this cast to do what they do, but Dragoon in chat is not sold, not feeling the new Suicide Squad right now.
Oh, really?
I know.
Were they a fan of the 2016, whenever it was, Suicide Squad? Because you know what? Like many other movies, especially in the DC universe, like I'm like the only person who's like, yeah, it's pretty good.
Who did Suicide Squad originally?
David Ayer?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, well, after the success of Zack Snyder's
released the Ayer cut.
Yeah, I know, and it was like, oh, come on, leave it alone.
Like stop it. We've talked about this.
We get the passion, we get all that it was a passion project and stuff, and you got stuff cut out of it and that, but.
Your daughter didn't commit suicide. Zack Snyder's kind of did, right? And he's the one who's brought in millions of dollars for Warner Brothers, not you. So get out of it. Especially, why the fuck would they do that? Hold on a minute. We've got to approve a message here. Why would they do that, especially when they've got the Suicide Squad around the corner, which is guaranteed to be a much superior film anyway? Yeah. I know that like everybody is now clamoring for restore the Snyderverse because we've also got Black Adam, like The Rock has announced like the production of Black Adam is really underway as well. So whether DC have whether Warner Brothers kind of has no choice but to continue that slate of films, whether they do, I genuinely don't think they care. I think that like James Gunn, I don't think this is going to have any connections to the previous films, and if it does, it'll be a pass away line. As we've talked about, just keep them all separate.
Exactly. Stop trying to pencil everything into everything.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, if your criticism is with John Cena, I mean, you've got like 16 other A-listers around it, and John Cena's not going to be forefront of the whole movie, so
yeah, that's
you
right.
can still pass the buck.
In saying that, though, they do say, don't get too attached to anyone because people will die, but there is a spin-off series called Fuck It's Peacemaker, so I'm guessing he's not going to die, or it's a prequel. So
exactly, that's right. Well, knowing how...
Keep your hopes up, he might die.
No, I was going to say, it is called The Suicide Squad, so...
Yeah, that's right. He might hate the movie.
All right, we've got one final trailer this week before I think we're almost ready to wrap the whole bad boy up. So let's get into this last trailer here. We have, of course, Spiral. From the Book of Saw. Oh, our final trailer this week is one that we have been eagerly awaiting for what seems like forever now. The latest rebirth of the Saw franchise may be just what we need to get us through 2021. Bringing back director Darren Lynn Bousman, the director of the second, third, and fourth films in the uberly successful franchise, the new trailer looks knucking futs. Following the story of a copycat jigsaw killer targeting Detective Chris Rock and his father, Samuel motherfucking Jackson. This trailer gives us so many sneak peeks at the new traps and contraptions that have made this franchise a success for almost 20 years. With a great supporting cast and crew behind the scenes, are we witnessing a reboot to kick off a new saga, or a one-off gem that will blow us away, or just another cash grab? Only time will tell. Oh, and I see that sneaky Tobin Bell picture in the trailer. Well played. Coming to cinemas here in Australia the 20th of May 2021.
I'm motherfucking sick of these puppets and these motherfucking puzzles.
Oh, yeah. Anyway. Stealing my line from when they announced it.
That's right, yeah. Spiral from the Book of Saw. I'm so glad this trailer fleshes things out, but now we've got more of a fleshed out idea of what this film is going to be. I'm kind of like, oh, please don't fuck this up. Please don't fuck this up. Please don't fuck this up. Because Saw has a good reputation of just doing the same thing over and over and over and over.
Exactly.
And in the last film, Jigsaw, and I've talked about this, I had such high hopes for that movie that it was going to do something different. Nah.
Oh, man.
And then, but this, we've got one of the original creators. We've got an entirely new writing team. We've got Chris Rock, who's heavily involved, primarily a comedic actor, and Samuel L. Jackson. This isn't just another cheapish spin-off. This is a completely separate thing. Based off a popular property.
Yeah.
I know that the creators have a lot of faith in this story. And
which, of course, is our boys, James Wan and Leigh Whannell.
That's right. So, but like from seeing the trailer, it seems like they're doing... There's that fine line. What I personally enjoy, and I repeat this for the 100th time on this podcast, what I personally enjoy about Saw 1 and 2...
Thanks, Dragoon.
Is that the puzzles and the traps were all about doing what you need to do to survive and learn a lesson from it.
Yeah.
What the sequels ended up doing has been like, hey, you're in a deadly trap. If you don't get out, you die.
Yeah.
You know, like, where's the lesson? They tried to incorporate that, but it just wasn't clever. It was just a gore fest. Get that shit out of here. I want something that's going to make me think and sympathize with the criminal.
Yeah.
And that's what Saw 1 and 2 did really well. I'm really hoping that in this film, Spiral, that we root for the copycat. That we root for the guy setting up. I hope something tragic happened with Samuel L. Jackson and Chris Rock's characters that makes them somewhat deserve to be in this position, and they have to figure out and overcome a moral compass to do so. That's what I want out of a Saw film. Is that too much to ask?
Yeah, exactly. Well, time will tell. Right? Time will tell, but more than likely, yes. No, but you're completely right. That's what was so great about, in particular, the first 3 Saws, was the fact that they had this story with the killer Jigsaw and his terminal illness, the loss of his wife, the loss of an unborn baby, all of those types of things, and it made you sympathize and go, he's just trying to make people better people, you know?
Yeah, the shit people that he's dealt with, he's trying to teach them a lesson in a pretty horrific way.
And then, exactly. And then following that, the films became, hey, look at that, we can rip this dude's arm off with his foot, you know, like a shit like that. And that's what the films became. So I would very much agree that the thing that this film needs is substance.
Yes.
Substance and something to actually latch onto, as opposed to, oh, look at these sweet traps that make blood. You know, like, so
that's what I'm saying.
Exactly. Yeah. So no, I completely agree with your point, but all of that being said, we got a lot of snippets of the new traps, which has me very excited.
Yep.
Very excited. I am. I just bagged on, it can't just be about the traps and the blood. It's got to have substance. But then I'm like, show me the traps. You know, so yes, of course, I'm interested in that, because that is what that's what Saw has become. And at the end of the day, I'm going to have a good time with this film either way. Okay. Yeah. It's either going to be torture porn and just be like essentially a Michael Bay of horror. Yeah. You know, just switch your brain off, enjoy the torture porn. Or it's going to actually have substance and tell a good story, which is what I'm hoping for. You know?
I'm hoping for a good balance of both. I'm really hoping for that, like that really visceral violence.
Exactly.
That does, like, you know, sometimes you get movies that are super violent that don't make you sick to your stomach.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I think I like about the original Saw movies. Like, they have to cut their own feet off, but like it makes sense as to why, you know?
No, exactly. No, but I'll just say for anybody new to the podcast, Saw 1 is not a horror film. It is a psychological thriller, and it is brilliant and is not torture porn. Don't bag all of the Saw films. The original is not horror.
Also,
just saying.
Another topic which we can certainly go down a rabbit hole, but we may need to save this for another day because we're nearing the end of the stream and the episode this evening. Would you consider any of those films and films like it horrors? Because how often did you go, Well, were you ever scared?
Well, are we talking horror thriller or are we just talking horror? Because horror can be just straight up blood, right?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe thrillers make you think, right? Horrors make you scared.
Yeah.
What's a movie that kind of doesn't do either of those things?
Torture porn.
Torture porn.
Yeah.
I guess so.
I mean, blood and gore torture porn. Yeah. But I think that's what horror has become.
I know.
I think that's what horror is, you know? Like, as in, I think scared now belongs to the thriller suspense genre. Yeah. You know, horror belongs to the blood and gore. With no substance.
Maybe maybe it's a personal preference. Most likely is a personal preference because art is subjective, right? Yeah. So my personal preference would be is like that horror is something that genuinely gets under your skin, like His House, like I talked about earlier in this episode. It's like that doesn't have a great deal of blood and guts, but it has some horrifying moments in it. But it's more like tense and unnerving and scary. I would consider that more of a horror thriller than something that like Cabin Fever.
Honestly, for me, it's got to be the first three of those of Saw.
Yeah,
like Saw 1 is suspenseful and scary if you watch it with the lights off. It's a terrifying movie for the budget that they had as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Saw 2 had a lot of cringe-worthy moments in that, and Saw 3 was the one where the dude was in like the crucifix type thing and it spun each of his limbs one by one and bones were snapping and stuff. That was the last moment in Saw that made me go, ooh.
And I suppose there are...
Everything else after that was just kind of like, good effects.
Yeah, and there are moments of those in those films, like even in the trailer for Spiral, that there's like the jump scares and like the startling scenes and things like that. So I suppose... Yeah, they are horrors, but like, there's something else to them, I guess. Maybe that's just me. But anyway, it looks magnificent. It's definitely my double wide this week. For sure.
Yeah.
How do I... Jeez,
no, exactly. I was going to say, out of these three, I mean, Suicide Squad looks exactly like what we're going to expect. Wrath of Man just took us by surprise, but looks fantastic. But I wouldn't give that the top spot. I'd say it's got to be Spiral for me. I mean, when you get the fucking tattoo of Billy the Puppet on your hand, you got to kind of be cheering and championing. Yeah, that's right. But anyway, Spiral book of the Soul.
Before we wrap this up, we'll have a quick look at chat and just go over a few things that we've missed.
Of course.
Noticed, what do I think about the Silent Hill franchise?
Well, you've discussed this before.
Well, I have discussed this before. If I'm talking about the films, I think, personally, the first Silent Hill film is a magnificent and one of the best video game adaptations. Yes, Silent Hill is... Fuck hell. Silent Hill is all about the themes, right? The monsters manifest based on the internal demons of the characters. And the movies is like, hey, this character's from the game that you recognize. It's got nothing to do with the personal character. But how else do you make a video game movie without things in the video game, right?
Of course,
you can't make a Sonic movie without Sonic. So I think that movie is fantastic. The second one, Retribution, I think it's called, whatever. Dog shit.
Yeah.
Games, I've only ever played half of Silent Hill 2 and the whole of like one of the games, the Silent Hill Downpour, which is apparently the worst one. I loved it.
Oh, well, there you go.
But I am yet to catch up on that. But OG and Halloween movies,
definitely,
Well, that's the thing, like horror thrillers, they were suspenseful, but they weren't overtly violent.
It was just the death scenes that really stood out, you know, but other than that,
because
it wasn't
they were far and few between,
you know?
It was more about what's going to happen when he gets there. That's the suspense.
Halloween, yes, it is a horror icon, but I think it got the same treatment as Saw just 20 years before, where the first one, very suspenseful horror film. Actually, I'll say the first two as well. Very suspenseful thriller type films with splashes of horror, and then they just went, they like the horror. Blood. Yeah. You know, like as in that's what happened with Saw as well. So but I think that did set
Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, they all started out with this smaller scale, but they're all the best versions of those movies.
No, exactly, of course. Yeah, exactly. But then they took the gore and the shock too far, you know, and just kind of turned it into that. And that's what everyone pictures it as. But I will say Nightmare on Elm Street, I mean, that's where fucking Johnny Depp has his fucking blood go.
Oh, yeah. That
fills the room. So
yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Exactly. But no, I would agree. Love me some Halloween, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Excited.
Anyway, I think that is our episode. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for hanging out with us this evening. And if you've been listening to this on your favorite podcast platform, we really greatly appreciate that. Please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Give us a 5-star, 1-star, 3-star, just whatever. Just give us a 5-star, and we'll appreciate that.
Oh my god, absolutely, of course, do all of that. But if you want to support the show as well, you can head over to tpublic.com or redbubble.com or PayPal.
Absolutely.
Two's Company Three's podcast at gmail.com. Flick us 10 cents, 20 cents, 50 cents, $1 million. All of that shit.
That's right.
Helps us do this.
It certainly does. Off the top of the episode as well, like we mentioned, you can certainly contact us and keep in touch over on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, just at 2C3pod. Most of the time, we have new episodes.
Yes,
every week, every Wednesday.
Sometimes life gets in the way, but a sizable PayPal donation could end that.
It certainly could.
A couple years' wages, and we'll focus for you.
Well, that's right. We'll certainly focus on this. But yes, every Tuesday or Wednesday, we'll record the episode live, and it'll be coming out on all of those platforms that following Thursday. If you were unfortunate enough to not catch us live, but where we talk about the latest movie news, reviews, topical discussions. interactions with you.
Everything.
Including Trailer Park back into it, which I kind of prefer, to be honest.
No, exactly. So squeeze some news in there. Trailer Park. We get to riff with you guys. Have a good time. Wiki wow is what I always say.
That's right.
That's a new t-shirt. Wiki wow.
You say it too much, man.
Oh, I know exactly. I've got to back up with that. But exactly. But make sure to head on over to YouTube as well. I'm not sure if you already mentioned that. I don't think you did.
No.
YouTube, 2C3 Pod. Just Google us. We're everywhere. But 2C3 Pod, find us there, subscribe, watch that content on there, like it, comment, do
and
all that
if you run
jazz.
out, you never will, because it goes back 2 years now. So there's plenty of it.
There's, without exaggerating, there's weeks, including 24/7 weeks of content on there. So you'll have a good time, that's for sure.
Absolutely. If you want to see some chit chats and rage-inducing gameplay, you can certainly find me at twitch.tv/Dilbo __. Links are all down below. I hate the underscore, but I didn't have a choice.
That's weird. It's gross.
I know. Yeah. But of course, you can certainly follow us right here, twitch.tv/2C3Pod live for the live podcast episode and weekly interactive podcasting. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. It's been a wonderful Wednesday evening, Thursday, or whatever day it is when you listen to this. My name is Dylan, and as always, with my co-host,
Mitchell. And do not forget, we are Two's Company,
and you are the podcast.